Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Josslyn, I'm not, I'm not understanding this. I'm not trying to make too much of a big deal out of it. I just don't understand how when Dex tells Josslyn that Sonny is getting eloped with Nina, she flips out, right? She's like, "How come nobody told me that they were eloping? Why does it matter?" And then, she finds out, she finds out that Michael's going, Christina, Michael, Willow, and, yeah, I think that's about it. Besides Wiley and Donna, which now has brunette hair. I'm like, okay. Last time I checked, though, she had blonde hair like her mother, but whatever. But then, she's upset that Michael's going, and she's like, well, for a while, me and Michael, we both hated Sonny, and now I'm in this all by myself, and I'm like, okay. So what? You're upset that he's not hating Michael he's not hating Sonny as much as you are. Like that makes sense in her head. I'm just like I'm trying to understand. Like, oh, you're not really making a lot of sense. Like you don't like Sonny, you hate Sonny. Why is it anyone's responsibility to sit there and tell you that he's getting married? You don't care, right? Like I don't get it. But that's the problem with Jocelyn. She has Sonny living in her head rent free for so long that now she's like, oh, no one told me. Like, why? You weren't planning on going, so what does it matter? Anyway, Flores comes over and she's worried about Ava because Ava hasn't picked up Avery from her place yet. So they talk for a little bit. She leaves, and Dex decides to go and look for Ava. He wants to go look for Ava, and Jocelyn's like, listen, I'm not just going to sit here and do nothing. And at this point, he's like, you know what? I know that. So let's go. Which I like because usually in situations, the man will sit there and tell the woman, like, no, you're not going. And then they wind up going and doing something stupid. And then usually he has to sit there and wind up saving her. This time he's like, you know what? Listen, at the very least, I can sit there and keep an eye on her because she's going to sit there and do it regardless if she goes with him or not. So I'm glad that he kind of got that from her spirit and her attitude. Like, just, just let it go, dude. So Cyrus is getting an early release due to his good behavior and his old age. Really, he's actually up for parole at all the stuff he's done, and they're just like, he's old and he's been a good person. He's been doing the whole Bible thing and everything. We can just let him out. The fact that he's eligible for parole is like laughable at this point, but sure, okay. So you got Austin against his will, since they're testifying for Cyrus, and you got Scotty because like Scotty's like, hey, listen, everyone's entitled to defense. Like, as in, I need money, so let's do this. Apparently, Cyrus must have paid him a lot of money to sit there and say, hey, listen, I paid you a fortune. You better sit there and represent me. A fortune, even though he doesn't really have any money because he said he gave it away, so I don't really understand how that works. But okay, sure. They all sit there and give their passionate testimony towards Cyrus. Even the warden talks about how much of a model prisoner that he's been so far. So yeah, most likely he's gonna get parole. Meanwhile, Ava is stuck in some basement yelling like anyone's gonna sit there and hear her, which I've never understood that. I've never understood. Anytime somebody's been captured or taken hostage or whatever, they start yelling and screaming as though they're going to put them in a place where they can yell and scream and somebody will eventually come. So I don't get that. But anyway, Mason's there. Mason's like, listen, you're not going anywhere. You're not going nowhere until the boss says so. So he leaves and she, sees his box or whatever and she tries to put the box like, try to get out the window. But the window has bars on it and it's like nailed shut. So I don't even understand what is it that she's exactly doing. And Mason comes down there and he's like, yeah, where do you think you're going? I mean, I get Ava, she's the, fight her way out of everything and, she's a survivor and stuff. And I'm like, whoa. Like, really? Anyway, he's like, yo, listen, you're not going anywhere. And after the whole trial is over, after the whole thing is over, not Ava, Austin calls Mason. He's like, hey, listen, it's done. I did my part, so you can let it go now. And of course, Mason's like, come on, bro. You know damn well we're both not calling the shots here. So I don't understand why you even sat there and called, which is a really good question because I'm just like, he's been doing that for a while now, thinking that he could just leave anytime he wants. Oh, I paid my debt. I could sit there and just go. Like, are you delusional or something? I don't understand. Meanwhile, you got this whole wedding thing that's going on in Puerto Rico. You got Willow that's dreaming a harmony, which is, here's the thing. So you can tell Harmony's that they're trying to give Willow a warning. But it's like every time she tries to give the exact warning, then she doesn't hear anything. She can hear Willow, she can hear Harmony saying something to her normally. And whenever it comes out like what she's trying to say, it just goes silent. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I would rather the whole thing be somewhat silent or finding another way to do it because it's stupid and it happened twice. So I don't get that. Michael and Willow, I mean not Michael, Michael and Sunny seem like they're starting to form their relationship again, which is good. He seemed like he's finally starting to get past the anger, and he's gonna. I'm assuming at this point because he doesn't have a best man that Michael's gonna be his best man. So everything is going down, everything's getting ready, the ceremony's starting, and Michael gets a text from the guy that's on the inside, that's on the inside of the SEC, pretty much saying, "I know who turned in Carly." He doesn't have time to read it, Wiley's like, "Yo, we got a wedding, like, you got to be here, you got to be present, or whatever." So he doesn't have time to read it. So I'm assuming at this point that this wedding is going to go off without a hitch. Now, afterwards, it's going to be a little bit different, once he finds out who did it. But before then, yeah, I think it's going to go off without a hitch. I think it's going to be just like Portia and Curtis' wedding. They're going to go through it. People are going to be like, man, I hope something happens before then. Nothing's going to happen. And it's going to happen afterwards. Now, that's the thing I look at this whole thing, right? Um, Sonny finding out what Nina did, being upset and everything. I look at it this way. He's forgiving Carly for much worse, right? He's forgiving Carly for much worse. And granted, I'm not saying what she did was right. I mean, it was right for her because she doesn't like, Carly. I'm not saying it's right, but I don't think it's the most unforgivable thing that Sonny has, that someone has ever done to Sonny, and he's moved past it. So being upset, yeah, maybe being a little bit distant for a while, but truly kicking to the curb, no, I just don't see that happening. And granted, I'm not a Nina fan, but if I look at all the transgressions that Carly's done and other people has done to him, I don't think that this is the most unforgivable thing in comparison. That's pretty much about it for the most part. I think one thing that should be noted is, Nina and Willow are getting closer. Willow gave Nina, something to borrow. I don't remember, was it a necklace or something like that? And this is all getting great. right there. They're getting along. You saw how they were interacting on the plane. You know, she's very happy that she's getting closer to her daughter. And the thing is, it's all going to come crashing down. I think that's the only thing that I can sit there and really appreciate about those scenes. Because by themselves, they're really boring. Like, I didn't really care about them giving her something for the wedding, the traditional stuff. I didn't really care about that. But watching them bond is very interesting because you know it, when the truth comes out, all of that's going to be down the drain. All of that's going to be down the drain. And Nina is going to be sitting there looking and being like, wow, I really effed up. Like, I really screwed up. I got anger. I got angry. I let my emotions get the best of me, and it cost me the relationship with my daughter and time with my grandchildren. So I think those scenes are important for that alone. Everything else is just like, eh. But for that particular reason, it's interesting. This episode was interesting in the fact that what I did like about it is that it didn't actually have that many characters in the show. They really didn't sit there and try to throw in a buttload of characters like they usually do, which I am very grateful for. Um, I would sit there and say it was a decent episode. It wasn't super amazing, but it wasn't bad. It was kind of on a level of Days. It was kind of on a level of Days. It was interesting enough to sit there and keep my attention, but not being like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. Um, that's pretty much all I gotta sit there and say about it. I can't really sit there and think of anything else. And or if I do, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, YNR, Days, B&B, GH, and that is it. And yet I sometimes feel like there's more, and there's not, but there used to be. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.